Walther Polymer Edition PDP Match. So, what is it? Well, take the PDP, the regular PDP, give it a different grip texture, give it an awesome new trigger, a nice, really nice magazine well, some sexy little slide cuts, make it 5 inches, and you get this bad boy. It gives you everything that you get with the PDP as far as the feature set, like I just said. You get the magazine well, you get this new grip texture that they have, these slide cuts that are actually more aggressive, and you get the ability to mount a red dot optic, you have your rear adjustable sights in the back, and then you have your static front sight in the post, in the front, then you also have a longer rail for your light. And by and large, it is a sexified PDP, a bigger version. So, big and sexy PDP. Would that be PDW? No, wait, no, that already exists. That'd be B, big, beautiful, BBP. Somehow that sounds even worse.
All the ammo used in this video was brought to you by Noir, maker of the most innovative, most accurate, and most effective bullets and ammunition in the industry.
In hand, the first thing you notice when you grab this thing is the ergonomics. The ergonomics on this gun are phenomenal. That's not saying much because it's a Walther. I've never put a Walther in my hand and didn't say the ergonomics are phenomenal or some variation of the sort. I picked it up and I put it in my hand and I was like, yo, this gun feels really good. PDP is just an awesome gun, man. My favorite is the full size. The full size is almost godly. This thing feels good. It's a Walther. They just kind of know how to do ergonomics on their guns. The thing about Walthers too is you see them and you know they're gonna be incredible. Like they have this ability to give you the visual instinct to look at it and say, yeah, that's gonna feel good in hand. And then it doesn't disappoint when you get it in hand. So now that it has a 5-inch barrel, so you have a longer barrel, and you do feel some of the weight up front, and this light isn't doing it any favors, right? But when you punch out, the gun, weight-wise, since it still feels relatively balanced, but a little focused on the front end of it. So from an ergonomic standpoint, and the way this gun feels in your hand, it feels big, but in a special way. It makes it like the gun has a higher quality feel to it, which is odd because it's based off the same PDP. But I think when you combine it with what you see visually, which we'll get to next, it kind of gives you a better experience in terms of ergonomics and the way the gun looks. Now, as far as the way the gun looks, she's beautiful, man. Like, I mean, this is essentially a polymer version of this steel frame PDP match that I did not too long ago. In a way, they kind of have their own aesthetic quality, right? The steel frame, even though it looks the same visually, technically, because of the difference in materials, like you have a steel frame, it looks different. But this also looks different in a way that is also good, if that makes any sense. Like, the gun just looks substantial, but in a very elegant and classy way. Even though this is a duty-inspired gun, it still has an elegance to it that, honestly, all the Walthers tend to just have. And then when you put the steel frame aspect of it, it just kind of ratchets it up a notch. But even with this, a duty gun, it still has a certain finesse to it that other guns of this size don't necessarily have when they're polymers. Don't shoot this coming from shooting something like the steel frame version. Because what's happening with me, and considering this is the first mag, so it's my first time shooting this gun, my mind thinks this is still the steel frame. So shooting this, I feel like the recoil sensation is a little bit elevated. Like there's a little more recoil to it than I would expect. But let's remove that. Let's say the steel frame didn't exist and I never shot it. Even still, the way the gun looks, you would think it was a monumentally light recoiling gun, but it's not. And I'm gonna try to explain it. So part of it too is the slide length. And this is why I'm not the biggest fan of long slides on guns, typically, when it comes to shooting fast. So what ends up happening is you're getting a lot of that weight and that mass up front, even though these cutouts do a great job of minimizing that, but you still have it there because the barrel's just longer. So, but the gun's not flippy, which is weird. You just feel the mass of the slide going back and forth, thus giving you the perception that the recoil is a little bit elevated. And the reason why I can tell you with confidence that it's not because the gun is actually recoiling more is because when you start shooting it, especially at speed, it's effortless. And the thing that makes shooting this gun quickly and easy and so effortless is, like always with Walther, their triggers. I mean, look at this thing, look. This is their new dynamic trigger. That's like, that's your take, god damn. Forgive me, Lord. Boom, hard wall, break, reset. Now the reset is actually very quiet from what I typically expect. Like listen. Reset. It is so short. This trigger is fantastic. Look at this. This is goodness. This trigger, I could do this all freaking day. Eesh. So, what's it good for? Anybody who's bought a PDP, especially full-size version, it's a duty gun. That's what it's designed to be. That's essentially what the name's for. It's like perfect duty pistol or something like that. That's not the name, but the D stands for duty, but it's not perfect duty pistol. But feel free to use that name. Anyway, to me this is I could see this being like a cop, for instance, who has a duty gun and also doubles as his competition gun if he shoots competition on the weekends. Or I can see this doubling as somebody's home defense gun who also shoots competition on the weekends. So it's very much a duty gun that has the characteristics of being a fancy, high-speed, low-drag competition gun. Because, like I said, it shoots just like, let's try this again. Let's go here. Y'all gonna watch me do this. Peter has to deal with this off camera. Now you're gonna watch it happen on camera. Sorry guys, it's the way it goes sometimes. I get something stuck in my head and I wanna finish it. There we go. So somebody who's looking to have a super tricked out home defense gun also doubles as their competition gun. You can't argue with this setup. This PDP match is freaking, yeesh. Like I said, this is the first mag review, so I'm gonna do some more shooting with it and then follow it up and give you my complete breakdown and take on it. But as of right now, I gotta tell you, if there's one thing about this thing that's just phenomenal, and the weird thing is it's almost seemingly better on this than it is on a still frame, it's the trigger. Trigger is freaking, oof, lovely.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.